Quality Management District. So what you're going to hear is different sites of struggle and different false solutions that are being put forward and alternatives to them. So I'm going to give it back to Tom Goldtooth for us to talk about what is this red that you heard from Clayton succinctly, and to talk a little bit about how it's impacting Indigenous nations and the threat that we're in around red. Tom Goldtooth, Indigenous Environmental Network.
Thank you again, and thank you to all the, thank you to all the people who are learning about this issue. And what I need to really stress is that what you saw in the film is a movement that's happening. There's historical moments that took place last year in Cochabamba, Bolivia, in April. There were 30,000 plus people that came together, the social movements, small farmers, the peasants, workers, indigenous peoples, and only a few of the world leaders. They came together to create an alternative solution to what was happening or not happening in these UN negotiations called UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC. There's 3 C's in there. So it was a process for us to take back these negotiations because we're very distrustful. We're condemning that process. We have to condemn that process of being a false solution. So one of the solutions that has been coming out of these negotiations is part of 2 solutions. Really, I'm not going to talk about the technology piece, but basically we have an industrialized society. As an indigenous person, we say to the world, the industrialized society has lost its face, its identification with the sacredness of Mother Earth. Today we're celebrating, we're recognizing the sacredness of Mother Earth. What does that mean? What does that mean as far as defining our relationship with the sacredness of Mother Earth? So we are products of an industrialized mindset, thinking that has removed all of us, all cultures, away from understanding that sacred, profound relationship we have with the earth. So we have a system that commodifies, that privatizes, that nature. We have a system that depends on technology as a solution to this climate crisis. So that's where we have a system that is developing a mechanism, a financial mechanism, a trading mechanism, just like Wall Street, where they trade. You can see it on CNN, Fox News. You tune in to just see where the trading is, the stock exchange. They have created a stock exchange on trading air, carbon. They have trading that in a climate exchange system, creating little pieces of paper as carbon credits. So if we have a polluting industry in the north that wants to expand, and that's happening to indigenous peoples in Canada, Dene and Cree and Métis in northern Alberta, they're dying from the pollution of the expansion of unconventional oil that's been too expensive to take out of the ground. And that's called the tar sands, the oil sands. So what they're doing, they're expanding the production, the mining of oil. And the way that you get away with it when in these big global meetings where we're trying to seek real solutions to address climate change. What they're doing, they're saying that, well, we can expand and we can get away with it because we're investing our money into protecting the trees in the global south. With the theory that trees absorb carbon, which they do. Trees breathe in and absorb carbon. So if we can prevent trees from being cut down, that means that we retain that carbon from being released into the atmosphere. So they're creating a system that's trying to offset the pollution, the pollution that the polluters of the north are doing in the north, with the theory that by them investing in trees in the south, that they're offsetting the pollution. But that's a false solution. That's a false solution, because for one thing is what is the verification and the monitoring of that system to make sure that it's really being offset. And it creates a toxic hotspot. You know what that is from the people here in Los Angeles. You know what toxic hotspot is when you live right next door to a polluting industry. So they're getting away with the death and the genocide of people in the north, creating the toxic hotspot. And what gives them the mechanism to do that is carbon trading, carbon offsets. It's not a solution. And these trees that are in the global south, under this like north-south, there's an environmental and economic injustice, because in this trading system that they've developed, that allows them to expand the production of greenhouse gas emissions in the north, is that the credits, the carbon credits, are cheaper in the south. So they're making double, triple profit from the north. So this is where we're very cautious. We're resisting bringing in a carbon market solution to the problem. And now they have brokers. You can go, some of the environmental organizations, you go to their website and you can measure your carbon footprint. And you can offset it by donating out of your pocket. You write a check for 20 bucks to offset your airline flight to London. Okay, where does that $20 go to when they're trying to market like 2,000 people a month? They're making money at the expense of these false solutions. So they're trying to burden our communities. They're trying to create these false solutions so that they allow mostly the liberals to relieve themselves of the guilt, because they come from the belly of the beast, where the consumption and the energy addiction is just so tremendous that they can relieve themselves of the guilt by writing off a check under these carbon neutral facilities. So I hope that's just a brief, quick discussion. We have 4-day trainings around this, understanding red, carbon trading, carbon offsets. So it's part of that carbon market is what I'm trying to say. Don't trust it, don't participate in it, because it's part of the problem. Thank you.